this, Randy,
Yeah.
and then I can I'll send you the Zoom. I'll make it easier for you.
We got
Hey,
it.
can you see the treasury report?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
can see.
got it.
Yeah, we got it.
So, uh, so there you see the expenses for the month. Distributed this late last night. I too was caught off guard and hurriedly put the treasurer's report together after midnight last night. Um, so we had a few name badges and lapel pins, and that was the extent of the expenses, other than another check to the coffee house, which I remembered at the very month. Uh, and so then you see the dues and the social event payments listed. Pascal paid his initiation fee. Um, and so it's all pretty straightforward. So that left us with a total checkbook balance of $13,812, of which we still have $5,441 in the operating fund. The bank balance is actually quite a bit more than that because Coffee House hasn't cashed any of their checks since June. So I'll have to give Roberta a call and see why that is.
Well, she's not hurting for cash, huh?
Doesn't seem to be.
Well, is she getting the checks? How are you sending them, electronically or in the mail?
I take them by a coffee house and give them to her son.
Oh, okay. Can't get more positive than that they have it.
And we always have a conversation about Roberta and how well she's doing.
Yeah. You know, you may just want to check directly with Roberta.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Right. Good idea.
Yeah, Marshall might be sticking him under, something and forgetting about him.
Yeah.
Well, right.
Paul, this thing between Shore Bank and the checks were written on Shore Bank, but now we're using another bank. Union Bank is the new bank, right?
Well, the old checks are still good. The account numbers are the same and everything.
Yeah. So that's not an issue that you have two names there.
I just haven't bothered to change the name on the
Oh, okay.
this file.
One.
I'm like, we didn't change bank accounts.
No.
Okay. So any questions about the finance report?
I move we accept the report. Diamond.
Okay, a second. Okay, so Randy moved and Bill Murphy second. That we accept the financial report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. And we'll move on. Paul, can you just say a couple of words so we keep it, on the plate about what you and I aren't doing with the budget?
Right. So Bill and I keep saying we're going to have a Zoom meeting about the budget, and then we just don't get around to it until I've thought of it a couple weeks ago and talked to Bill briefly about it on the phone. And number one, we both had a very busy schedule between then and now. And number two, it was kind of hard to put together a budget yet, not knowing how much we really should budget for income, because we don't really know what we're going to do as far as whether or not to have a golf cart raffle. And we don't, of course, know when we're going to be going back into the coffee house. But we decided we would wait. Actually, last year's budget wasn't approved by the board until October. So we're not behind our usual schedule yet. So we decided that we would talk more about it this coming month, and have a budget proposal distributed to the board advance meeting.
You broke up. What did,
What?
repeat that, you broke up.
We will have a budget proposal distributed to the board before our next board meeting in October.
Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll know a lot more then.
If anybody would like to join in that discussion via, certainly welcome. I think if it gets more than about 3, then it's sort of gets unruly. Hard. It's not as small a discussion as.
This is Stanley. Hang on. Let's see what Stanley's about. It's Bill Payne. Yeah. You can't get, turn your computer off and start over again. Did you get my email this morning? Okay, well, you've got the right information. Are you on the same network as Randy? Yeah, Randy can't get in either.
Bill, I had to manually go in. I couldn't just click on the hot link. I had to start up Zoom and then enter the code number, and then I got in.
Yeah, and Chuck had to get in manually. He just had to start Zoom up and put in the meeting ID. Why don't you just call in? Let me give you the number. Wait a second.
I got it right here.
Okay, what's the number, Randy?
301
301.
8592.
What comes after 301?
715
715
8592.
8592. Yeah, just call in. Don't make yourself crazy. All right. We'll see you in a second.
Who's that, Bill?
That was Stanley. He thinks he's on the same network you are.
He is.
Okay, then that's the problem. Okay, committee reports.
Following up on what I just mentioned.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I asked if there was anybody else that wanted to join in. Bill Murphy's been involved in some of these discussions before, but Bill, if you just want to do it with me, that's fine too.
Well, if there's room, I'd like to join in.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I think more the merrier. There's only 6 of us. We can't trip over each other too much.
Yeah, I'd be happy to join in whenever you set it
Yeah,
up.
and this is part of developing our members, Paul. We want everybody to know everything. So, like, Chuck can be president one day. Don't smirk. I saw that smirk. Stanley's not in yet.
Every time that happens, I get this little twinge.
Yeah, okay. You can get over it.
What are you laughing at, Regina?
I know how you feel.
You're not safe.
I know.
Okay, let me give one non-report while Stanley's trying to dial in. The youth, I'll give the youth report. The youth report is a non-report. With the schools kind of all screwed up, I'm not even sure what's going on with Interact, but I'll check in. So nothing there.
Hey, Bill, I got a question on that. The one time last year, we had a few students of, I think, Northampton High that joined us in the road cleanup. Do we always get that message somehow to the schools that they're welcome to join us to get
Yeah,
their
yeah.
permit? Okay,
I contact the sponsors,
okay.
but you know, school was out this summer on our last one.
Yeah, I know they got to have so many community service
Oh
hours.
yeah, you would think that they would be all over the place, but phew.
Yeah.
Stanley, is that you?
That's me.
Okay. Why don't you give us? We're giving reports now. Why don't you give us a report on membership development?
Oh, okay. You got me at a crossroads here. I don't have my report with me.
Well, one thing you can say is you're going to join that meeting, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna do that. Oh, wow. Hold tight a second.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try to join with you. So the other thing is your major thing, Stanley, is to get help. You need a couple of people working with you. When you're working alone, it's lonesome and you don't get as much done as when you're teamed up with somebody, because then
Yeah, but
you feed on each other. You don't want to let one another down. So you got to get 2 team members on your committee. That's high priority. And if you don't do it, you're not going to get fired. You're just going to keep getting yelled at.
I'm not gonna get fired. Oh wow, this is
No,
great.
you can never get fired in this club for screwing up. We give second and third. We give second, third, and even fourth chances to get it right.
You can't get a cut and pay though.
Oh no, not a cut and pay. Anything but that. Okay.
Hey Chuck, I've got good news for you as you will give your PR report. What do you got to say about PR?
Well, not too much activity. I've been checking pretty close to every day on our website, and while Medi had a comment about the drawing today. So mostly it's people, I'll get a report saying X number of people just went in and had a look. They don't interact with it. They don't leave a message or a like or anything. And of course, they're not tagged. I don't know who they are. They could be up in Nome, Alaska for all I know. So there's just not much in the way of interest in our Facebook site. So I am interested in any ideas that people had that I can post there. I don't know if, hey, we're the Rotary and come and join us is attracting much. I don't know what we can do to entice people. Maybe we tell some stories of things we did. So if somebody wants to write a little write-up of how we organized and did road cleanup or how Interact works or something, just kind of lay out what it is we do. Maybe that'll attract some people.
No, that's a good idea. And I think we've got some stuff written up already. Bill Murphy's got something to say.
Yeah, Chuck, this might help, and it kind of ties in with membership too. I'm trying to think of the young lady's name. That's the district membership chair. It'll come to me in a little while, but excuse me. She's very enthusiastic, very inventive, and very funny and witty about
Sue Carter.
coming up with ideas for membership and and to generate interest. I'm pretty sure if you would reach out to her and tell her we're not getting many hits on that and ask for some suggestions, she'd give you a bunch of them.
Okay, if you can forward me her name, contact, if you have her contact information, I can look that up. Stan seems to know who it is you're talking about.
Yeah, I can look it
Sue
up.
Carter.
Stan, if you have it, you know.
Yeah, I have a listing. All right, but that's part of my my report. But go ahead. I have her. I have all her contact information.
Can you send that to me, Stan?
Sure, no problem.
Okay.
No problem.
Now, one thing, you know, my daughter's here and she has her boyfriend, Jeff, with her. And you're going to meet him today, Bill. He's from Chicago.
Oh, great. I'm looking forward to it.
I told him about you, being from Chicago. So you two may have some common enemies and friends there. I don't know.
Ah, homie. I love it.
Yeah. And anyway, I was talking to him a lot about Rotary, you know, and he's of course, he's not going to join here, but you know, he was real interested in the things we do. So
That's great.
just kind of that sitting down and telling them stories and the things we do, not as a local group, but also more international. He didn't realize it was an international organization.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. We can't over talk or over communicate about what Rotary's all about. And Murphy's right. Membership and communications, PR, go right together.
Yeah.
So you guys put your heads together. We'll break through this. Now, the good news for you, Chuck, is at the YMCA groundbreaking, Laura Dotson was there.
Yeah.
And I was all over her. I said, Laura, you're not quitting on us, are you? And she said, no, I'm absolutely with you. And so we got to figure how to get her inside the cage.
Yeah.
And I know what it is. It's a time factor.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of who, you know, talks to her the most that she'll pay attention to. So maybe if you give her a call and say, Laura, I just need some ideas.
All right.
If we get her engaged a little bit at a time before she knows it, we'll have her in the cage.
All right.
Because she's a very busy person.
Will do.
But people are working.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry?
she's still working.
Oh yeah, she's but I understand she dropped out of the Main Street. Is that, did Stram tell us that?
Yeah, I think he did.
Well, at least she hadn't been attending meetings or something like that. And it came up that she has a boyfriend now. So that might have something to do with it.
Oh, she's had a boyfriend for a while.
Oh.
I've met him.
Yeah.
We just have to stay after her. If we could get one more young person like her in the club, that might help too.
Yeah. At today's drawings, will somebody bring some brochures or something about Rotary Club?
Yes, Jim Stannard had me print 15.
Okay.
He was all over me. So we'll have 15 brochures. Who's in charge of weather today?
I checked it and it's just mostly cloudy today, like a 10 to 15% chance of a sprinkle. But I don't see any rain in the forecast.
Okay, well, let's shift to Reggie and ask him for his social.
Before you leave membership,
Yep.
question.
Yeah.
I've got a new neighbor moving in who I haven't met yet. Interestingly enough, he's moving in from Cape Charles. Anyone know the McIntyres? I think they live on Tazewell.
I don't.
Okay. Pardon me?
I don't.
Okay. All right. Well, of course, that makes, a new neighbor makes him an immediate membership candidate. I was just curious.
You're absolutely right.
I think McIntyre is an old native name in this area. I see it on the tombstones down here in the cemetery. So I'm wondering if he's a native of Cape Charles.
I don't think so, but we'll find out. Okay. I pass.
Okay, Reggie, are you there?
I think he's on mute.
No,
Yeah.
he's not on. Well, you can't tell with the telephone.
Yeah, he's on mute. Yeah, I see.
Can you hear me?
No,
Yeah,
no.
we can hear you now, Reggie. So this afternoon, first of all, nothing, is there anything going on in the social space other than this afternoon?
No, no, there isn't.
Okay, so we're all set for 2 o'clock this
Yeah.
afternoon, right?
Yes, yes. The question came up. There were some things that you were going to be bringing, right? The flag and the ring table.
I'm bringing a table. The flag and the bell are across the street
Okay,
in Roberta's
okay.
coffee house. Given the weather, we don't want to have too much. Hey, Chuck, are you concerned about your equipment?
Only if it rains. I don't know if anybody's got some plastic or something.
I've got a tarp.
Okay, if anything suddenly burst out that I can cover stuff real quick.
Okay, I'll throw my tarp in the car.
All right. And Reggie, I'm planning on being there around 1:15 to start getting set up.
Okay, well, I'll plan to meet you there. And I put out three Rotary event directional signs this morning, so they're out there as well.
Okay.
And I'm going to pick up 4 signs from Jen Lewis to remind people to stay socially distant.
Great.
So I think
Hey,
that
Bill?
pretty much covers it. We have a ton. Look at all these. We've never had so many tickets.
That's great.
So here are the tickets. On the way, I'm going to call Medi on how I get these tickets to her so she can put them in the drum. But it should be pretty good. Oh, Reggie, do you have all your people drawing the tickets?
Lined up.
They all confirmed. I connected with Andy this morning on email, and he's planning to be there. I spoke with Suzanne, and she's planning to be there. She's right across the street.
Oh, Suzanne's
And
going
the
to be
other
one.
person that
Great.
And you had spoken with one other person.
The mayor?
No, I struck out on everybody.
Not you didn't strike out on everyone because you
I think the one I got was
someone in email.
I got Andy. Andy was the one I got. Well, you know what? If we don't
Okay,
have
well-
if we don't have somebody, we'll just ask somebody to
Yeah.
step up from the
Yeah.
from the
Okay.
crowd.
That'll work. I have it in my phone. I just don't. I have access to it at the moment.
Okay.
And,
Well,
you're ready, obviously, to be the MC for your special projects. You're right.
yes. But I'll be low profile.
Thank you, sir.
Not a whole lot of talking. We're gonna get the thing over with and go home because we haven't. Bill, you're on mute, Bill.
You had said you were going to get the flag and the banner from the coffee house, but aren't they closed today?
Oh, yes. Oh, Murphy, you're so smart.
If I was smart, I would have told you that last night or yesterday.
Maybe he should have called you just to check in, Bill.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
we might luck out and they're open.
Yeah.
Because of the holidays. I have a flag. I don't intend to have like a meeting. I just would,
Just call her.
we're not gonna have a meeting. We'll have whatever comes to my head. We're not gonna sing. We're not gonna have a prayer. If I can bring this flag that I have on my golf cart, but I think all we'll do is the Rotary model. You okay with that, Murph?
And then
the
we'll
thing,
wrap
it's
up.
it's all about the Rotary and asking the crowd if they have any questions about Rotary. And we'll make a call for membership. We'll ask people to consider joining Rotary. So, okay, so anything else, Reggie?
No, nothing else that I'm aware of.
Well, thank you for organizing the event, and I think it'll be another outstanding deal. Chuck, are you going to be taking pictures?
Yes, I will.
Okay, good. All right, then we have a couple other items, maybe three. We never passed a motion for the $500 out of our fund for the multi-club grant, the $1,650 for the Randy Custis project. So we need a motion on that.
Can somebody tell us more about that project? What they're going to do?
They're working on one of the buildings.
Oh, what I know about it is I'm not familiar with the exact building, but the biggest part of the project, they were going to upgrade and replace the air conditioning in one of the facilities they have there. I think it's like an indoor basketball court or something. I can find the grant, but mainly that's what most of it is for. I haven't heard anything about what the sweat equity part of it might be, but I think that's primarily what it's for.
Yeah, I thought we were going to have greater opportunity for sweat equity, but it is what it is. So I'd like a motion for the $500.
So move.
Who said that?
Stan.
Stan, you're not on the board.
Nobody else said anything.
I'll make the motion.
And it's the shyest board I've ever met, Stanley. Okay, Murphy
I'll make the motion.
made the motion. Need a second.
I'll second.
Chuck second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so Paul, will you send Scott Schreiber his $500 before he has a baby?
I will.
I know you do that reluctantly.
Bill, Bill, I'm sorry, I'm going to drop back for a second here. I have one question. I'm going to be kind of busy with the sound and taking pictures and everything. Is somebody going to record the names of the winners for me?
Yeah, I will. I'm coming
I'll
with
be
a
there, too.
clipboard, and what we'll do is when we draw the ticket, I'll call out the name, and I'll put it in the clipboard,
Okay.
and we'll go from 100 to 250 to 500.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I sure hope Rotarians win. They tend to give back. Paul, have you counted the money yet?
I have not.
How much do you think we have, Paul?
Well, I haven't even looked in the envelope.
Oh, God. Okay, but
You counted it, didn't you?
I didn't count your part.
No.
But
Well, my
I
part
think
said
we grossed over $5,000.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, wow. Great.
All right. Now, the next item I'll describe, but I have a conflict of interest, I think. But the Board of Supervisors, I sent you maybe I can bring it up. But there was an attachment to the email this morning, but the Board of Supervisors have made a proposal, and it's on this November 3rd ballot, that Northampton County have a sales tax of 1% in addition to the normal sales tax for certain items, excluding food, automobiles, medicine, and farm equipment. They aren't part of this 1% tax.
What about gasoline?
Now, gasoline, I don't know if the county taxes gasoline. I don't know if that's a sales tax. I think that's a state tax.
It's state and federal only for gas.
Okay, there you go. See, I told you, Murphy. Murphy knows everything.
Now, the other question I had, Bill, is it 1% of what the tax is today, or is it an additional 1%? In other words, the sales tax today is 5%. Is it going to be 6%?
Yes.
Is it 5%?
It's an additional 1%.
Right now it's 5.3%, and it would go up to 6.3%.
Yeah.
Well,
Now the other,
I wrote in the email, my concern about it is right now, I'm not sure if the county is considering that they're probably going to see a windfall on upcoming property taxes.
No, that's not, I don't think that's true.
no, I don't think so.
Because they look at the total valuation. Of course, people, if properties in Bay Creek have appreciated faster than other properties, your bill might go up. But there is an equalization rule that if the total valuation of the properties goes up by 10%, then they've got to reduce the tax rate by 10%.
Okay.
So that the total amount they collect is the same unless they go up on their rate.
Yeah, it's tied to whatever their budget is. Now, this money that's being raised, this additional money, is to be used only for school construction or renovation. And it's primarily focused on building the new high school. But this money could also be used for, repairing the grade schools, which are getting kind of old now as well. And it's for 20 years. At the end of 20 years, the tax is taken off. 45%, they estimate that 45% of the revenue will come from people traveling up and down 13 or visiting during the holiday season, the people that come here for vacation. So the burden will be nearly half of the burden of this 1% tax will be on visitors. God bless those visitors.
I have a couple of comments and questions. First of all, when it's on the ballot, I most likely will vote for the referendum because I am curious with some questions that we probably can't answer here. What my concern is I don't think it's an appropriate use of Rotary funds. And I guess my mind could be changed if someone could tell me who else the supervisors have gone to solicit these contributions.
Well, you've asked the right person, because the supervisors aren't pushing so hard. A group of concerned citizens have organized to promote passage of the referendum. And
well, then I would redirect my question to the group of concerned citizens.
And that would be, I'm one of them, and
Okay.
I'm the chief fundraiser for that group. So
here's my question. Is that group going to the towns, for example? The most prominent one comes to mind is Eastville. They have a source of revenue that's, I think, extensive. And I wonder if there's any effort tap into that.
That's a good idea. I hadn't considered going to any municipality to ask for money because their budgets are generally set and they take forever to agree on something. I need to raise close to $10,000 in less than a month. And I can tell you who we've gone to, and that's just about everybody else. We've gone to private citizens primarily, but we've gone to every agency, anybody that would be interested in improving the economic stability of the county. We've got our sights on Daniel Huffler because we think if we can get Dan Huffler to write one check, we could just solve it without a whole lot of agony. But so far, we've raised $3,000. And Randy, I've sent you the budget, and I can tell you who has kicked in already. So just a second. Oh. Okay, these are people that have already put, Crosby Johnson has given $250. Willie Rando has given $250. Wayne Bell has given $500. Steve Fox has given $100. I've given $100. Jeff Holland's given $100. Paul Bibbins has given $200. Bill O'Hare has given $200. Maxine Rasmussen has given $300. Paul Grossman has given $100. Martina Coker has given $200. Liz Jones has given $150. And there are a lot of smaller donations. We've raised about $3,000 so far. But they've all been individuals, to your point, Randy. But we have people in our sites that are, you know, organizations like ourselves. They take a little longer because they have to, you know, it's not an individual who can just write a check. Also, I'm meeting with Air Baldwin this week. And I'm going for $1,000 from Air. I've been pretty successful with him in the past, and he knows why I'm meeting with him, and he's invited me to talk, make my case.
Well, the other thing I would raise is I don't think such a proposal would hurt Cape Charles at all as far as the travel of vacationers and so forth. I don't think it's a big deal there. But there's a lot of other small towns with restaurants and stuff like Nassauatics, the Italian restaurants and stuff. Vacationers don't go there. That's hometown people, and that may actually impact the businesses there. The restaurant businesses, they're already hard hit. And I don't know. These towns that don't cater to the vacationers and so forth, you're adding more expense on. They're going to have to charge their limited clientele that extra 1% sales tax. And if that kind of scares people away, then they may actually have to raise the price of their products for the limited amount of people they do get. And that may in turn limit even more their clientele. I can see Ocean City, Maryland has a surtax for sales tax. They're in Wycomico County. Wycomico County does not have that sales tax. It's only the town of Ocean City. Now I can kind of see trying to get people who come here from out of town, get that extra 1%. It's probably not going to hurt. But to go countywide, I'm not sure that's a wise idea.
That's a good point. One thing the Board of Supervisors have made very clear is they're going ahead with this spending anyway. We've got to build a new high school, and if it doesn't come from this tax, it's going to come from an increase in real estate tax. So it's either this or real estate tax, and visitors certainly aren't going to be part of the real estate tax.
Right.
So, just, something to consider.
Definitely.
But they're going ahead. This is a point that Coker makes. They're going ahead anyway. The money is practically spent, and either we get it this way where we can, and some people have said that when you're on holiday, you don't think about,
No, you don't.
But the local folks, you're right. Local folks might reconsider going out for a meal if there's an additional. But I tell you, where you really pay a big tax when you pull through Hardee's or through McDonald's. That tax for a drive-in is like, you pay like 12% tax.
I didn't realize that.
Well, that's why you're
food
such a
tax in
healthy
general is
guy.
very high. If you look at your bill at any time you eat out in a restaurant, the food tax is really high.
Hmm.
And that's and 1% added to it isn't gonna make too much difference, frankly.
Yeah.
I'll say this: I'm a little bit neutral as far as the overall proposal is concerned. I think property tax is perhaps a more fair way to pay for it than sales tax, because sales tax is a regressive tax.
Yeah.
But
Paul, hold on that, because they've taken food, automobiles, and medicine out, so that makes it less
I
regressive.
understand. Yeah, but and I'll probably vote for it because I think we should do everything we can to support the public schools. And I really hadn't heard the angle that people just passing through will pay 45% of it, which is something that favors it. But my point in waiting for the board meeting was, if this is a controversial subject within the club, then the club shouldn't spend club funds paying to promote it.
I
And I might even contribute some to supporting it myself. And I think it'd be okay to make a plea, Bill, for you to use our mailing list to make a plea for people to make individual donations to support it. But I'm a little reluctant to spend club funds, particularly out of our contribution fund, which is where it would come from, I would think, to pay to promote it.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's the point I was trying to make, Paul, except you expressed it much better than I did.
Yep, Bill Murphy.
Yeah, I kind of agree with what Paul and others have said. It is kind of on the fringe of something that we should probably stay away from, because everything like that has political implications. And, the people that contribute to our causes and give us money, there are going to be some, I'm sure, that would see that as, okay, well, they've taken this side or that side, whichever you want to say. But the only thing I would add to that is I did talk with John Coker about this, and by the way, I'm in favor of it. But to echo what Bill said, Coker said, look, this is going to happen. I mean, the new high school's coming, the renovations is going to happen. We've got two choices. We can pay for it by really jumping your real estate taxes up, or we can add a penny on the dollar tax to pretty much everything anybody buys, including people passing through. And so I said, well, John, that sounds like a really good idea. It's really nice that you and the supervisors came up with this. And he said, well, it wasn't really our idea. Rob Bloxham came up with the idea, state delegate from up that Accomack. So it's truly not a Republican or Democrat or political type thing. And so it pretty much has widespread support. But even having said that, it really kind of bothers me as an organization that we would commit our charitable contributions to this. I don't know. I mean, I would kick in some money personally, and I think if we do that, it would probably be better. But at the same time, I hate not to support it because I think it's a great idea, and it's certainly something we absolutely need. So I'm really not sure. I'm really just not.
Well, I think I've heard enough. I'm going to withdraw my, but you're not getting off. I'm going to withdraw the Rotary contributing, but I'm going to come after each and every one of my fellow Rotarians, and I bet you we'll get more money.
You might.
Right.
Yeah, because just looking at Murphy and Strong already, I know I'm over the top. So but thank you for hearing me out, and yeah, go ahead, Bill.
Well, Bill, but before you withdraw your motion, I just want you to.
But I didn't have a motion, just the.
Well, okay, but before we do or don't go any further, I'm not saying that I would not vote in favor of it. I'm just.
Oh yeah,
saying
I think everybody will vote for it. But I'd like to see a lot more vote for it, and that's why we're having the campaign.
Hey, Bill, I have one other question, just real
Yes.
quickly. Is this a new school in addition to what's there? Are they going to close down one of the old school, the Northampton High, and move them into the new school?
No, Northampton High is about to fall down.
Okay.
So and the other problem is we don't have a separate middle school.
Yeah.
So you have things like 17-year-old boys with the little,
Elementary school.
12-year-old girls, which can't work. So
Yeah.
we'll build 2 new schools and maintain the others to.
Are they going to be in Eastville?
Oh yeah, on the campus.
All right.
On the campus. All right, well, thank you so much. But this has been very good for me because it helps me understand the arguments because I'm going after people pretty aggressively. Rick Hubbard came to me about, it's been 2 months ago now. And there's an attachment on the email I sent you this morning about the, what's the name of it?
Arlington.
Arlington, thank you. Part of the Arlington Foundation, or he works with the Arlington Foundation. And that's the property where Custer's, what, the tomb? Help me out, Chuck.
Custis.
The Custis tomb.
Yeah.
And Chuck, you probably know more about this than most of us.
Yeah, I mean, Custis is an old name of some of the original settlers that came to this area. They weren't involved in the Jamestown settlement, but they didn't come much later than that. The Martha Washington, General Washington, President Washington's wife, was previously married to a Custis. And it's an old family name, big part of the history of the southern part of Northampton County. You can call it ugly history, or you can call it not so ugly. They were slave owners and so forth, but that's our history. That's part of our history. And we grew out of that, thank God. But I think preserving whatever we can of our history is again, it's a personal choice. I don't necessarily see it as a political thing. Somebody can make it that. I'd be all for supporting, keeping history alive in this area. But I don't know, it could raise some hackles as far as what's going on these days. So it might be one of these things again where the Rotary Club itself doesn't get behind it, but the individual members can make that decision.
Okay, has everybody had a chance to read the pamphlet that I attached? Well, it seems that there's a foundation to preserve that area. And Rick is part of that organization, and he's asked for money. So I'll call for a motion.
Hey, Bill,
Yes.
before we go there, when is Hubbard coming back from Maine? Do you know?
I don't think he'll ever come back.
Once it gets
They're
cold.
gone. He over a month. So he's been gone for about 2 weeks. I don't expect him back for another 2 weeks.
Well, I'm kind of thinking like this. If this isn't something that they have a deadline to submit funds or something they're going ahead with right now, why couldn't we just sort of table this until Rick gets back and ask him to be the speaker at one of our weekly either Zoom or in-person meetings or something, and let him tell us a little more in detail about it? Because I know Rick's well enough that if he's involved in it, he would have a lot of information. I'd really like to hear more about it first myself. I mean, if we need to do this now, fine, but I'd really like to hear a little more.
I don't sense there's a deadline, and that's probably a good idea.
Right. Usually these efforts and so forth, they're in perpetuity mostly. I mean, there's always a funding drive for preserving things like this. It's not going to be, we have a deadline of this date and then we can't take any more money from people.
Okay, then why don't we do that then? Do you think it should be for the board or for a general meeting? It'll be a long time before we can get him on a general meeting. Or maybe maybe it's short.
I think it might be worth a program for the full club.
Okay.
Maybe not by Rick, but by somebody else who's a spokesperson for it. Maybe Rick is the main one.
Okay, what I'll do is when Rick gets back, I'll just tell him we want him on a program, and then we'll consider it. That was the board's decision. Okay. That's all I had.
We didn't touch base with Regina.
Yes, let's touch base with Regina. Regina, you got anything to report on?
As far as the international, no, I haven't had time to do any talking with some other Rotary clubs or anything yet, but I intend to do that. I need to reach out to some other clubs and see if there's anything we can attach and do something on. But I haven't had time to do it yet.
And Regina, my sense of it is, since this virus thing, it's kind of difficult to get something going with another club and having to, but you do use your judgment on when you want to fire up again.
Okay.
Thank you, Chuck, for reminding me.
Yeah.
Anybody else have anything they'd like to say before we wrap it up? Yeah, Bill?
Yeah, I know I talked a lot more today than I should, but
No, Bill, we love you talking.
Well, I did just want to say one more thing. Tonight's meeting, of course, you all know, is in lieu of our annual 3-club dinner. At 5:30, the club presidents are going to be meeting briefly with our district governor, Judy. And she made it very clear that anyone on any of the club's board of directors was more than welcome to tune in. So if you'd like to sit in on that part at 5:30, by all means, Bill has the announcement and the Zoom number. But if not, please try to be there at the 6 o'clock meeting. I really would like to see a lot of people from all of the clubs participate. I'm not too sure how well Exmoor is going to be there because they haven't been doing Zoom meetings. They're meeting in person now, and Nancock either for that matter. But I really would like to see as many of us participate as we could. So if you can possibly make it even for a little bit of it, try to come online on Zoom at 6 tonight and be a part of that.
Bill Payne, I'm not going to be able to make it. I have some guests here. So.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm afraid I'm not gonna be able to make it either. Ginger has other plans for tonight, therefore I have babysitting responsibilities.
Bring the baby. Sit her in front of the tube. But I'll send the Zoom invitation to the board. In fact, I'll send it to chairs and the board. If you want to, I think we're going to need the numbers. I did not know that Exmoor wasn't doing Zoom meetings. So
They're actually meeting in person?
yeah.
They're meeting every other Thursday night.
Oh,
Inside, right?
what's
Right,
the logic
at
of
the
that?
Moose Lodge. In fact, they've invited me to come up there this Thursday. They say they've really got it worked out well with the social distancing, but I'm not too sure yet. I told them I would think about it, but yeah, every other week they're meeting on Thursday nights at the Moose Lodge.
I don't think Mary Jo's going to let you go.
What, Bill?
I don't think Mary Jo is going to let you go.
We've already talked about it a little bit, actually.
And you still think you're going?
Well, yeah.
You did most of the listening and
Hey,
most
you
of
got to live in hope, right? You know.
Forget it,
One
Murph.
more final thing. Onancock is doing both. They're meeting every week, every Tuesday morning for breakfast, and they're also Zoom telecasting their meetings. I sat in
Yeah.
on a couple of those, and it works pretty well. They get about half and half in person and online.
Yeah, they got it, the hybrid.
Yeah.
So anything else?
No.
All right. So Randy, did you get all that?
Well, you all get a look. You all get a look at it before it goes out. Believe me.
Hey, Randy, don't make yourself nuts over the minutes.
Hey, listen, if I don't have to send a copy to Paul, it's a lot easier.
That's it. Don't send it to Paul.
Bill, hey, wait a minute. The president's meeting, is that 5 o'clock?
5:30.
5:30. Okay, and you need those numbers to get, is it the same numbers as the district meeting to sign in?
No, it's another. I'm going to send it to you.
Okay. Don't know whether I'll be there or not, but just curious.
Yeah, but if you can make it.
Okay.
Okay. Well, look, it's after 12 o'clock. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you hopefully at the drawing. Take care, guys. Bye bye.
Adios.